Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to Babble with Bronies. I am your host. My name is Everlasting Joy, along with my good friends and co-workers, Mr. Ben and Twilight is Magic. I'd like to thank y'all for stopping on by today with us. So yeah, it's not episode 100, but doesn't mean we can't have some fun. Let's get into it, shall we? First of all, in the news, did you guys see this? There was this Japanese pony game that was released, a trailer, I should say. And let's just say that it not only looks promising, it looks really good. I'm going to be keeping my eyes really close on this one, folks. Because, I'm going to leave the trailer to you guys, but check it out. Trust me, you're going to, if you haven't seen it, do it and thank me later. After the show, of course. But anyway, let's move on. About the only other big piece of news that I could find this week, and maybe there's more to it that you guys would want to see, but let me know about that. Anyway, the humble bundle for every of the comics yet released has been released last Wednesday. If you want every single one of the comics, here I'll quote, "The Humble Pony Bundle has hit the net, and it's quite the deal. Look at all the comics you can get, and while giving money to charity. It's a win-win. For like $15, you can get almost the entire collection, which is pretty impressive for those of you out there trying to catch up on the series." End quote. So if you really want to get the comics, I'm not sure if it's in a digital format or print format. It doesn't say, and I didn't check in on it, but if you want all of the comics, except as Matt the Shadow Man, puts it, except the last 2 months. So that would be October and this one, November. Yeah, as Mr. Ben's pointing out, it's practically a steal. Okay, it is digital. Thank you, J.E. Smith. But yeah, if you're looking for for the digital prints, there you go. If you haven't got them all, now's your chance. Something else I was thinking of, but maybe I must be my imagination. I believe that, yes, that is everything in terms of the news. So, anyway, we're back. So, art or music, folks, or I should say videos. It's mostly videos this week. Anyway, which do you want? There are 2 videos this week, J.E. Smith. Nope. I saw Tim and Ben had already voted, so that's why I took them away. So 6-1. I'm not a fan of mixing it up, Blue Jay. All right, it's okay. Then we got another one. It's pretty one-sided here, folks. We're going with the art. So, art it is. Hopefully we won't have any more crazy drops like we just did. But yes, if we do, don't worry. We're planning on going the whole 9 yards. Let's see here. I hope I show whoever's on Harlow 66 Laugh Pie. I hope if that's someone I have in my files here, you're gonna have to identify yourself by your DA name, because This way I can get to you much faster. Anyway, how about we go with... We've got a truckload of comics here, folks. I'm not kidding when I say that I have about 8 comics here. And of those, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 artists who are 5 separate artists. So that's 5 separate times that we're going to be reading comics. So if you like my terrible comic reading, today's your day. But first, I want to go with this one by Renegade Cow. This one's a bit of a one that I've been... I had to put off for last week, but it's titled Hyper Scootaloo. Quote, kids can often seem to have inexhaustible reserves of energy, especially in the eyes of an adult. No kidding. And Scootaloo is simply bursting with pep when it comes to lending a hoof to Rainbow Dash, even if it's just to take out the trash. Just wish I had a little helper to get those automatically done sooner. End quote. There's a little video like the last one that we showed of his that comes with the... there's a little video with it. It's in the description. You can find it there. But basically it takes that scene from Owl's Well That Ends Well of Scootaloo jumping, and he made a figurine out of it. And hot diggity dog, is it just adorable. I love this one for not just the originality behind this, an animatronic figure, but I think it's just flat out adorable that the scene Renegade Cow picked. Sometimes I get the impression you guys just enjoy irritating me. You think the window... I'm sorry. Let's get back to this. Here is the link. And with that, let's move on, folks. Maybe ice sticker. All right, let's go with a comic, because why not? Let's go with this one to start off with. But before I go there... Yellow.
Hey.
You guys ready?
Ready as I'll ever be, I suppose.
This one is titled CPR You Kidding Me by Amercado. Hope I pronounced that correct.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, this one's a good one. You'll love this one. If you don't, you guys will love this one. The audience will love it. It's a great one. It really is.
Okay, let me just pull this one up here.
There are 3 roles, 2 major ones and a minor one. We have Celestia and Discord as the major ones, and Luna as the minor one.
Oh, and me without my water. Oh, you know which one I'm gonna be taking.
Yes. Tim?
Which one are you going to be taking?
I don't care, quite frankly. Whoever you want.
Can you take Smoker, Batman, Luna?
Ugh. All right, I'll do that. I swear, Smoker Batman itself is... It really should be its own meme. All right. Discord starts.
Is that me?
Yes. since Mr. Ben would take Celestia.
Alright. Better not hit that, Sonny. Your figure needs work as it is.
Wham! I think I look fine, thank you. Discord. Don't panic, perform CPR. 1, 2, 4, 7, 13, 64, infinity, 0881. Heartbeat sounds about right. Time for mouth to mouth. Don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it.
Did I hear champagne? What a splendid party. Oh, my sister?
This isn't what it looks like.
Murderer! Murderer!
What?
Hello, Sunbot. Not first kiss, but not bad, I myself admit. Of course, you must be filled with glee.
Just really enjoy these occurrences.
I am a slave to habit.
One celestial rage later.
No. One celestial age later.
Still worth it.
So you can see why I wanted to put this one in, guys. Oh, this is going to be fun when Amarcato gets it. I hope they have a sense of humor. I really do.
Well, they should. They made the comic.
True. Let's see. I'm tempted. I am tempted. Do you guys want to go with another comic right away, or should we move on to something else?
Well, if I were part of the chat, I would probably vote for another comic right away, but that's just me.
Me too.
All right, we'll go to another comic. Matt the Shadow Man, given what we just saw.
Well, he's not wrong. It will hurt your voice, especially if you do it quite often enough.
Let's go with this one by our good old friend Colt Steel Stallion, titled "The Muffin Whisperer."
Oh, that sounds already
That's
awesome.
one.
As well.
It's a gem. It really is. Honk.
Booyah.
We have 3 rolls here. Again, 2 major, 1 minor. Rainbow Dash, Derpy, and a little bit from the Muffin.
I'll take Dash.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I want Derpy or if I want the Muffin.
I'll take Derpy.
All right, I'll go with the Muffin then.
All right.
Don't forget which you eat and which you bet.
Huh?
I'm just joking.
Okay, Derpy starts, so that's me. Hey there, Mr. Muffin. How do you do?
Derpy, are you talking to Muffin?
Yeah, I always talk to my muffins and pretend they're talking back to me. I'm doing just fine, Miss Derpy. I'm sorry, that's the Muffin speaking. Go ahead.
I'm doing just fine, Miss Derpy. Your man's looking lovely today.
Why, thank you, Mr. Muffin.
It's just a muffin. Just eat it.
Oh. Sorry, dropped it. Oh, Mr. Muffin, you look delicious. Do you mind if I eat you now?
No! No! Please don't eat me!
And now a moment of silence for Derpy. Okay, moment over. Colt, what do you have to say about this?
What do you have to say for yourself, mister?
Pretty much.
Say, if I may make a reference,
Go ahead.
Matt the Shadow Man did mention a fanfic recommendation I did state some point ago. I forget exactly what it's called. I'd have to look it up, but there is a Muffin fanfic I did read. It is hysterical, and I do definitely recommend it. If I could, it's called "But I Want to Die." I think the chapter number is called "It's Muffin Time." It's on fanfiction.net. But I will state this: if you like fan fictions, read that one. It is hysterical and is well worth your time.
All right. Get the link, and I'll show the rest of this, and I'll call you guys back later. How's that sound?
All right.
All right.
Sounds like a wiener. Later. All right. That was The Muffin Whisperer by Colt Steel Stallion. Meow. Meow. Anyway, random stupid cat noises aside. Let's move on. I think what I'm going to do from here on out, folks, is I'm going to show everything, every piece of the art, anyway, that isn't the comic, and then I'm just going to go straight through the comics. Why? Why not? How about... Here's another one that was put on the back burner for a while. So, this one was a Tim recommendation as well. Titled Got Books by Nessa City. I love that name. I love good wordplay. The fun of this one was the scenario. I love... reading some of the chat there. I like what it's setting up here. Kind of one of those, it's really cute. Quote, so here's a fun little ditty. A commission that made for the mod of an absolutely delightful Twilight Sparkle blog found at bookhorse.tumblr.com. Go check it out, if you've got a minute to talk about books or horses, that sort of thing. End quote. I saw this one and I thought, well, it's really cute. It's very nice and bright. I love the books and comic, or the magazine, I should say, that she has. For those of you who might not be able to see it, the book is Obscure Unicorn History. Ha ha ha. And the magazine is just The Book Fort. That's what it's titled. Yeah. Book Fort or The Book Fort. Text is even a little hard for me to see. But anyway, the fun of it is the Book Fort. Why do I imagine that she's trying to say, hey, forget the book, let's make a book fort and read in that book fort? We must read deeper. There's the link. Got Books by Nessa City. Very cute picture. Wow, suddenly wave of people. Awesome! Let's go with... Okay, let's go with this one by creator of Pony, titled Sunset Shimmer. Not hard to see why I wanted this one put in. Quote, alright, bacon hair is complete. Didn't take too long. The rig/scene has a number of updates too, including various optimizations to make rendering faster. Made with Blender. It's a program. I've used it. Death Pony uses it. And creator of Pony here seems to have a really good master of it. This is one of the big reasons why I wanted to show it, is because, damn, this is really good. This honestly looks like a sculpture. That to me is what makes it so impressive, so worth showing. I really don't know what much more I can say here. You guys are not only taking the words out of my mouth, but damn, that is really good. I sure hope not. Twilight is magic. I need them to eat. Creator of Ponies, Sunset Shimmer. Well, how about we go with, since we're on the subject of Equestria girls, let's go with this next one, titled Go Back to Sleep Sonata by Cosmic Pony. This one was another Tim recommendation, and not hard to see why. I think what I loved the most about this was just the scene. I'm going to say it right now, folks. One of the reasons why I like this scene wasn't because of Sonata, it was because of Adagio. I get a yuck out of her, that face palm that she does on a almost consistent basis every time she's in the scene. Almost always exclusively because of Sonata. And to me, that's what's funny about this picture, is it falls under just a bit. Go rewatch the scene and check out Adagio's reaction. It's just priceless. Ugh. You know, I was waiting for something like that, Mr. Ben. I really was. All right, let's Go Back to Sleep Sonata by Cosmic Pony. You're surprised, Alicorn, Texas boy? But that's half... Truth be told, that's half the fun. Sure, I can't imagine that maybe the artist Well, I don't know. Maybe the artists do enjoy that kind of stuff just the same. I'm guessing that's an individual taste. But for what it's worth, it really does keep things interesting. You got the straight man up here going, I say, why should you be noticing that? And I got you guys down there making fun of me. If that isn't some kind of comedic cycle for what it's worth, then I'm at a loss for words, because that really takes everything that I can fathom and know and shreds it. Getting back on topic, speaking of Thanksgiving, though, or at least for us Americans, this one's titled Gobble Gobble by Dusty Sculptures. I saw this one on Equestria Daily's blog post, and I thought, not only just because we have another sculpture in our list here today, the aforementioned Hyper Scootaloo, but this one just alone looked amazing. I've shown Dusty Sculpture's work on here before, and I've always been impressed with his work. I think the best part about this has to be not just the detail. I want to say the detail, but it's more the form. Think of it as the macroscopic level. I'm so impressed by how well this... I'm wondering if it's stuffed. It looks professional grade is what I'm getting at. It looks very, very expertly crafted. That's what drew me so fast to this. It was like, done. It's going in the show. Owl Twily. Granted. Anyway, this is Gobble Gobble by Dusty Sculptures. Alright, that is it for all of them. So, well, there's one more, but I'm saving it for a reason. Yellow.
Rally low.
Are you guys ready?
Ready! Yeah!
Okay, now all of the comics save one is a multi-part comic. So do you want to go with Beaver Naders or Lovely Neckbeards?
As long as it isn't neck beavers.
I was just about to say Beaver Neater has a lovely neck beard, but I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry, Beaver Nader. No, don't hurt me, please.
No Beaver Domo Yamate. Let's go with Beaver Naders. This will be good for a way to lead into further down the road. Anyway, this is End of a Generation Part 5. He's released quite a few, so I'm pretty far behind on things, folks. But over time, I'm planning on getting caught up here. So be patient. I know I'm far behind, but we'll catch up eventually. Anyway, we have Twilight and Sunset Shimmer. Who wants who?
I take Sunset.
I don't know. I suppose I could take Twilight, but I don't want to destroy anyone's eardrums again.
Why don't I take her then?
All right.
All right, Twilight starts, so that's me. It's been several weeks now, and the Wonderbolts have been very adamant in their positions. They have no interest in reforming their duties as protectors of the princess, nor in acting as your private task force. Our polls don't tell any brighter tales. Nobody wants to fight under your rule. I know it may sound crude, but we just can't rip a nation's beloved leaders from power and expect to curry favor that way. We both know this won't work. This won't work and need to start looking at other options.
We were already in peril before I came along. All I did was make every pony aware of it. This is their chance to strike back at our oppressors. Why are they not answering?
I honestly couldn't tell you. However, I do think we've invested more resources into than what it's worth. I'd probably consider outsourcing our defenses.
For all the powerful enemies Celestia and Luna making their time, there isn't enough gold in the world to cover that. We only have one option left. Me.
Dun dun dun.
Nice. Part 5. Part 6.
Sunset all around, I see. It will be all sunset, I believe.
Most of it, yes. This one is all sunset, so that's all Tim.
Meow.
Meow.
Whenever you're ready.
Celestia and Luna were well within their right to enforce their ideals of unconditional friendship. But eventually others took advantage of this foregoing consequence. We slowly lost control. Gargantuan astral creatures have been seen several miles away from Ponyville. Why nothing has been done about it thus far is beyond me. Entire flocks of dragons have been crowding our airspace without our permission. I guess I'll have to deal with that. And Discord's been released. What's in the quest driver you're thinking, Celestia? His willingness to side against us over anything else sealed his fate. He posed too much of a risk, and for that I did what I had to do. Wait. This can't be right.
There, I'll
The
provide
plot
this time.
thickens.
Pretty much.
Don't eat so much cake.
Part 6. Part 7. This one's Twilight and Sunset.
Do we start?
Not yet. I'll let you. I have it ready. Sunset starts whenever you're ready.
The changelings invaded us?
Yeah. They planned on repurposing the realm to harvest their food. Princess Cadence and Shining Armor managed to blast them away before they did any serious damage.
She wasn't imprisoned or sent to another realm. She's still out there.
I guess so. Yeah. Chrysalis planned her attack for the day of my brother's wedding. There's a plethora of images to show for it. Here's before the wedding day.
We've dealt with the changelings a long time ago. Another doppelganger queen in another time.
The wedding day?
Celestia almost sent him to extinction. Almost.
What are we looking for anyway?
I'm not sure. I see Queen Chrysalis, but where's the other queen?
Did you drop the comic again?
No, I'm sorry. I thought it was straight to Sunset, Shimmer's part. Sorry. I didn't see a second queen. None of us did.
Wait. No, we couldn't have been that stupid.
What? What is it?
We need to go to Ponyville. Now.
Do. Kind of spaced out there as well. But anyway, part 7. Tune in next time as we'll continue with this series. All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Lay it on us.
The Secret Life of Fleur de Lis, number 7. We'll be finishing the series up, at least according
Let's Fleur
to the
de
original
Lis.
plan.
Let us Fleur de Lis then.
Let's see. In this one, we have Fleur and the Doppelganger.
I
Who
was the
wants to?
doppelganger before. I'm gonna keep the changeling.
Okay. Ben?
I guess I'll take Fleur since I sat at the last 3.
Okay. Fleur starts.
Okay. Prepping myself and apologize ahead of time for any headphone destruction here. I know you, and I know all your moves, so give it up!
Oh, really? Then you must remember that we can fly. You always stuck to the rules, even if it put you in the disadvantage. How pathetic.
I love that evil accent you gave her. Part 7. Part 8. Coming up. Same roles.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't asking that as a question.
Yeah.
But yeah, same roles. Doppelganger starts.
Ha! I guess Fancy Pants chose the wrong mayor to protect him, but that won't matter anymore. Because I will take your place and Fancy Pants will finally be in my control.
Yes, because no one would notice. I suddenly gained wings, right?
Slam.
Yeah, you could have got me, but your ego has gotten the better of you first.
Shut up. Nobody liked you. That's why you ran.
Huh?
Part 8.
Party.
Part 9. Coming up. Really? All right, this one I'll take Princess Celestia. It's Celestia and Fleur.
Okay.
Celestia starts. Hang on, give me a second. Okay. Good evening, Fleur.
Princess Celestia, what are you doing here?
Well, Princess Luna came back to the castle in a rather frantic state. The guards have suspected that she might have been poisoned at this party. So I came here to investigate. But it seems like you have already figured it out. Good job, Fleur. Oh, and by the way,
Poof.
your maiden coat is all messed up. Wasn't easy fighting her, is it? Here, let me tidy you up a bit.
Wow. Thank you so much, Princess Celestia.
Don't mention it. You've already done a great service in defending Equestria, especially during this intense month of preparation for the royal wedding. Goodbye, Fleur. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Goodbye, Princess. And at the end of the day, I'm glad everything is back to normal, as it is planned. The end.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. We'll see if this continues, folks. I will, let's see. Quote. To be honest, I didn't actually know whether Fleur is evil or not. I didn't plan for that far. But I've come up with several theories about the ending. Yada, yada, yada. I might continue the story, but in the form of fan fiction. End quote. So yeah, I'll keep my eyes on this. If he continues it, I'll post it. If he doesn't, then no harm, no foul. Anyway, let's move on. You guys want to stay on? I've only got one more piece left before the talks time.
Sure, I'll go ahead and hang
Sure.
around for a bit.
Sure.
All right. This one is titled Fleur de Lis, The Royal Guard by Frozen Pyro 71. I saw this one, and not only did I want to include it because it's an awesome sculpture, but it tied in with this story, and I thought, well, why shouldn't I show this? Why, in the name of all things bright and beautiful, so long as it isn't offensive, should I not show this?
That is actually very well done.
It is.
It is. And to be honest, I really like it that there is still someone making, well, you know, figurines, essentially fan art, including other fan art.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Fan
not
art or
just
fan art?
Inception. It's not just Inception, it's also a kind of community building, if you will.
Not only that, but it really goes to show that good effort can produce itself good effort.
And that's what I like to see.
Exactly. Quote, I love when people take background characters from the show, a snippet of information, and create something wonderful. Heck, look at what happened with Octavia, Vinyl, and Lyra. If you haven't read The Secret Life of Fleur de Lis by Lovely Neckbeard, do it now! End quote. So yes, this really is based off of it, folks.
Octavia, Vinyl, and Lyra are also changelings.
I don't know. Ever since I saw that one fan vid of Octavia beating up the changelings in Camelot, I kind of half expected her to be a secret agent mare or something like that.
I'd
She's
so
a
buy
secret
that.
agent changeling.
And that is so awesome.
There's a fanfic about it, of course.
I really like the painting done to the armor. Gives it a nice chic shine, yet still has a metallic tinge to it, if you will.
Exactly. Too many people make it plastic.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm also looking at the other picture underneath in the description where it has like the spin pictures looking at it from different angles, and I'm just looking at how the person did it. I'm really liking the contours, the level of detail, especially you could see like in the mohawk on the actual helmet and the lines that are actually like in the mane. That's actually really well done. I love the attention to detail on that.
Rain Shadow. All right. Anything else, guys?
Nah.
All right, then we'll call it good from here and carry on.
Meow. Meow.
See you guys in the chat.
Later.
All right. Let's go with it's talks time, folks. Perfect. I'm on time. I honest to God thought I was going to be way over time, so I'm more than tickled. He'll be here. Yellow?
Yep, Oh, hang
Told you
on.
he'd be here.
Yeah, of course I am. I'm always.
No, I meant more in the call than anything.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay. Wait, you guys can hear me, right? Oopsies. Shoot, I got out of my car. How about that? Yeah, how about that? That's gonna be on the thing. I got out of my car right when you guys were calling from the game.
So we're going to be doing Out on a Limb.
Okay. Oh, okay. Just that, not the other one. Oh, we'll save that.
I
for
guess
next.
if you want to, I didn't
Oh,
I didn't
no,
grab
no.
it, so throw it in here.
No,
and I will. Huh?
No, we'll save that for next week. I like that for next week.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay, so the Out on the Limb comic. Yes.
Do you want to read it or should I do it?
You can read it.
Okay.
I'll have a comic next week, though. I'll have more dialogue.
All right. Here we go. 8, 9, 10. Okay, ready or not, here I come. Philly AJ is so adorable.
I love my AJ.
Oh, come on, AJ. I wasn't ready yet.
And then the AJ face.
Yep. I'm reminded of an old Simpsons gag that did something like this. Where,
If it was, I would not. I don't even. I see. The funny is, I stopped watching The Simpsons about, like 5 years ago, I think.
This was an old one. This was season 8, I want to say 8 or 7. I can't remember. But anyway, Fat Tony, as his name implies, he's big.
Yeah.
Appears from off camera. He comes on scene from behind a tree that clearly couldn't have hidden him.
Huh.
That was the joke of it.
See, the funny thing is, I would never have known that because I mean, it's amazing that you actually know that episode because it's like, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess because me, for me, like with the Simpsons episodes, I usually would catch them here and there, but it's like, it's not like as often as I would usually catch them when I was back in the day, and I don't remember much of those episodes. But no, yeah, this comic, yeah, I mean, the surprising thing about this one is I'm better than I thought it was going to turn out because when I started working on those backgrounds, they weren't coming together as well as I was hoping them to do because I didn't do an Apple Family Apple Orchard, background in I'm gonna say since like May. I think that was the last time I truly did the Apple Orchard.
Oh, geez.
And because I was one of my derpy. Actually, early June because it was a muffin fruit derp, so I called it that one. That was the last time I drew it. So I was really rusty on the backgrounds and also just drawing Philly AJ. But amazingly, she came out really well. I'm amazed because like those first two poses, I got someone in the comments section on DeviantArt saying those two poses are the exact same. Not really vector or what the heck they were calling. I forgot what it was, but I showed them I actually sent them in the comic the actual PDF, the PDS of the actual the paths and stuff, and I show them like, hey, yeah, this is really right. I even got smart with them. I show them the piece of paper and show them like, hey, are these the exact same? Because clearly they aren't. Mm-hmm. But that's why I hate when someone questioned that one. But I didn't care because there was just one person. Sure. But overall, I love this kind because the thing is, it's derpy, it's Applejack, and for some reason lately I'm on a run with Applejack stuff. Like, there's a lot of Applejack stuff that I feel like I got to do all of a sudden, and I go on runs because 2 months ago I was on a run with Pure Derpy Comics. A month ago I was on a run with like Philly Dash Comics. Mm-hmm. It's like it really just depends. But unbelievably, though, and I talked to Ice Stick and a bunch of other people who were in the chat about this because it seems like during the off season I go on runs with Derpy Comics. I don't intentionally do it. It's just more so this is when I get to really bring Derpy out. Right. But because it's like there's no fresh. I'm not going to say necessarily fresh stuff. It's more so. It's like all my derpy stuff that I want to do during the season, I can't really do. It's more so now I can officially do all the Philly stuff, and that we got 5 more months until season 5. So
yeah, like, I know, right? Or at the minimum.
At the minimum, and that so I love doing derpy stuff. I mean, personally for me, she's my favorite character to draw, and I can put her in so many stupid situations that it just feels derpy. It just feels derpy-esque. I love making derpy comics. Like the one I want to do, not this week, but the following week, I have another derpy and Applejack comic. It's on. Whenever I go and make these comics, I don't purposely plan these out. I just go. It just so happens that I just happen to go on a few Applejack ones, or I go on a few Pinkie Pies or Fluttershy, whatever you want to call it. It's a matter of chance in a sense. Mm-hmm. Just like the Derpy Spitfire ones.
You gonna bring those back?
I actually have 3 of them that I wrote down that I'm gonna be doing. I'm probably gonna do another one. I'm trying to think. So I got DBZ Vinyl Scratch 2.0 right now. Then I have the comic. Then I have Octavia 2.0, and then I have then I'll bring that. So basically, it's gonna be around mid to end of December is when I'll put that one out.
Okay.
So I plan this stuff out.
Hey, that's not a dumb move.
No, it's not. And I made like I have a bunch of stuff that I got to plan out. It's good because like it keeps me on schedule.
Good.
But then then next week you guys will see the DBZ Fleetfoot unless it's already been seen on my DeviantArt. So we'll put that on next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and guess what? Both of our football teams won.
Booyah.
Yes. I just had to throw that in there.
Hey, fine by me as far as I'm concerned if both of our teams win.
Mm-hmm.
Except,
All
of
right.
course, when they go against each other, and then, of course, my team has to win.
Although that would have happened this season, but it didn't.
And you're not going to let that one go, are you?
No, I'm not going to let that go.
Speaking of not letting things go, have you followed me on DeviantArt yet?
I could do that when I get home.
Okay, good, do it. Because otherwise, I'm going to have to ask, where's Celestia?
Oh, great! Yeah, you just had to bring that up. Now you're going to get everyone in the chat probably complaining about that. I'm probably going to get a comment section about that.
Anyway, on a serious note, Tox, do you have anything left to say?
No, because I'm good.
All right, then we'll wrap this up. Thanks
Yep,
for stopping by.
Yep, no problem. I'll see you guys next week.
Later.
Yep, later, guys.
All right, got that. Good. So, videos now, folks. Let's go with. We got some really good ones this week. This first one I want to start off with is Super Smash Princesses by White Hawk, aka Footsie01. I decided to show the YouTube version because good promotion. But yeah, same guy. If it's Footsie01's Super Smash Princesses. And if I may add on to my last comic, the streamers showing Super Smash Brothers here on our stream. Yeah, they love streaming it and only reminding me why I am so jealous of them and why I would want that, but don't have the money or time to do it. Anyway, my sad life aside, here you go, guys. White Hawk's Super Smash Princesses. Sorry. The last one, you guys probably saw this one. I love this one. I love this one a lot. This is Race Car Ghost 1's No Matter What, We're Friends.
When the sun doesn't appear to be shining, when the moon Be strong and move along. Your future is only a step away. Be strong, don't think you're wrong. Time flies by and you can't even count the days. When will it end? All you need to help you is friends. The dreams we shared, the ones we cared, go at your own pace. Don't lose your heart, don't fall apart. It's times like these we say, try your best, not any less, and love those dreams of yours. When the story's alright, we'll be here. Below the big blue sky, we'll reach our dreams someday. Never forget that I'm always keeping my own heart out for you. Because I'm glad I'll be your friend. Because I'm sad I'll be your friend. Because every lonely dream knows how to share. Because we all care. No matter what, we're friends.
Race car ghost ones. No matter what, we're friends. I love the way it ends. And no, I'm not meaning that as an insult. I really do, in the sense of I just like how that ends. All right. With that, folks, it's time. Sorry, I was reading some of the chat there. Anyway, let's go.
Marzipan, mascarpone, meringue, madness. You've really outdone yourselves, Mr. and Mrs. Cake. This is sure to be the winning entry of this year's National Dessert Competition.
Oh, thank you, Pinky.
And thanks for transporting it all the way to Canterlot for us.
Absolutely, it's my honor, and I...
Beg pardon, but could we maybe move things along? This here cake's a mite heavy. Right, Big Macintosh?
Yep.
Alrighty then, Big Mac. To the train depot. That's it, Big Mac. Nice and slow. This is precious cargo you're carrying.
Yes, it took months of planning and testing.
I would hate for it to...
Oh!
Don't worry, Mr. and Mrs. Cake. Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, a little Pegasus's. I'll get it there safely, you'll see.
Oh, of course, Pinky.
We never doubted you.
Twilight, can I see you a second? A nice protective spell is extra insurance. Better safe than sorry. AJ, Rarity, one last thing. All right, every pony, we're in the home stretch here. See, Mr. and Mrs. Cake, I got it here without a hitch. Now all we have to do is get it in.
My little pony,
faithful and strong.
Sharing kindness.
It's an easy feat.
And magic makes it all complete. You have mine. Do you know you are my very best friend? Thank you all for helping me get the cake safely on the dessert car.
Thank you for inviting us all to go with you to Canterlot for the National Dessert Competition.
I'm sure the festivities will be just lovely.
Before we on the festivities, I can't wait to try all those tasty treats.
Well, the tastiest treat of all is sure to be the cake's marzipan, mascarpone, meringue madness. All that rich, creamy goodness of the marzipan combined with the tart tanginess of the mascarpone, blended perfectly with the smooth, silky sweetness of the meringue. That's why I call the marzipan mascarpone meringue madness the Exactly. It's the most delicious, delectable, delightful, delovely cake in Equestria, and it's sure to win first prize.
This is not so. For I, Gustave Legrand, do challenge your crude cake to a duel of delectable delicacies against my exceptionally exquisite eclairs. They will undoubtedly strike down all the competition, winning first prize and crowning me le champion.
Not a chance, Legrand.
Donut Joe, what are you doing in Ponyville?
Picking up the final, all-important ingredient for my contest entry, Donutopia! And with these super sprinkles, my donuts are gonna dunk all the other lousy desserts, steal first prize, and make my donut shop famous forever!
Oh, Joe, your dippy donuts could never outrun me.
Hello. What's your name?
I am Yuya Mile. Behold, my chocolate mousse. It will trample all your treats, be given first prize, and make me the greatest chef in Equestria.
Madame Mild, you and your mousse are mistaken.
Your frou-frou eclairs will never defeat my donuts.
The cake's marzipan mascarpone meringue madness is going to win.
Your simple cake could never take my mousse.
Well, it sure looks like we're in for a delicious competition tomorrow. Maybe we should all settle in for a good night's sleep.
I gotta admit, I'm pretty beat. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the hay myself.
Wait! Did you hear those, Chef? We have to protect... I know for super sure that is the best dessert in all Equestria. And I know that they know it too.
So,
one of them is gonna sabotage the cakes' cake tonight. You have to help me stand guard.
Pinky, you're overreacting.
yeah, those chefs aren't gonna do your cake any harm.
But they are! I just know it!
Fine. If you want to stand guard, go for it. We're going to bed.
I'll show them. I'll stay up all night and protect you. Nothing and no pony will stop me from keeping you safe. Stop, you saboteur! I have you now!
gonna do? The cake! Oh, you look marvelous. Whoa! I know. I think some congratulations are in order for a job well done. You better hold off on giving yourself an award just yet, Pinky. Look. Look at what? Huh?
What is it?
What happened? It's the Marzipan Mascarpone Meringue Madness! It's been mutilated! Now we just need to find out who done it! You mean who did it? Exactly! Who did it? Well, having read many mystery novels, I know that the only way to discover the culprit is to investigate. Exactly! And as chief detective, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
You're investigating?
Yes! And Twilight shall be my lowly assistant who asks silly questions with obvious answers. Fine, Pinky. Should we start looking for clues? Perfect silly question, my dear Twilight, because the obvious answer is... Yes? No, because I know who did it! Pinky, how could you possibly know? How could I possibly not know? Clearly this dastardly deed was done by the baker, who knew their dessert could not measure up to the mastery of the Marzipan Mascarpone Meringue Madness. I guess you feared your eclairs lacked flair! Gustav! Tracks, how are you now here? Oh, guess that isn't a totally silly question. And second, the cake hasn't been sliced, it's been bitten. Just look at the teeth marks. You're right, my fine fellow. Gustave Legrand is clearly in the clear, which means the was destroyed by another baker. A baker whose donuts are do-nuts. That's right, it was Joe! Or as he's known in the spy world, Maine. Con Maine. Security system. And Joe is not sleek, stealthy con Maine. He's big, gruff, and messy.
Hey!
Although, you would look rather dapper in a tuxedo. You may be right, lowly assistant. Maybe? Now that I'm taking a closer look at these desserts, I see that one simply cannot look me in the eye. Pinky, that moose is a moose. Yes, and the mule behind the moose panicked when she saw the mastery of the So you're saying that the culprit is... Mulia Mild! I guess you're right. Thank you. But I was so sure that it was one of the other bitter bakers that destroyed the... That way, their delicious dessert would reign supreme. I mean, just look at Joe's Donutopia. It's a spectacular city of donut-y delight, topped temptingly in sprinkalicious sprinkles. And Gustave's eclairs look incredibly edible with glistening glaziness. But then there's Mulia Mild's Moose Moose. Why, this mouth-wateringly marvelous Moose Moose tempts the taste buds with this silky, smooth, yummy, nummy chocolatiness. So why did this criminal devour the marzipan mascarpone meringue madness while leaving this trio of tasty treats untouched? Now I have no idea who done it. This mystery gets more mysterious every minute.
Well, you have to stop the wild accusations and get to the truth. Every pony go back to your cars while we do a little investigating. Okay, Pinky, in order to really solve this mystery, we're going to have to find clues. Now, you were here at the scene of the crime all night.
You're not accusing me, are you?
No. But maybe you saw something that will help us.
I saw a silhouette in the moonlight.
Good. Let's retrace your steps.
Then I chased the culprit down the train towards the caboose. But when I got there, he was gone.
Aha! Our first clue. I think I know who did it, Pinky.
Already?
Yes, but I need more evidence to confirm. Tell me what happened next.
I heard some pony else in the dessert car and chased them up to the engine. But when I got there, all I saw was the conductor shoveling coal.
The conductor, huh? But that doesn't make any sense. What happened next, Pinky?
Well, I went back to the dessert car.
Yes?
The curtains mysteriously closed all on their own.
Interesting. Anything else?
I heard footsteps, a loud thud, and then they were gone. When I opened the curtains, I saw that the portrait by the door was all crooked.
Oh my, what is that? What next, Pinky?
That's it. I was here guarding the cake the rest of the night. I mean, I slept by the cake the rest of the night.
And when you woke up, half the cake was gone?
Exactly.
By Jove, I think I've got it. Call every pony back. We have a cake culprit to catch.
Why are we all here again?
I bet you're wondering why you're all here again.
She's good.
We have discovered the true culprit of this cake carnage.
But how?
Well, you see, when committing a crime, it's crucial that one never leaves behind clues, especially an obvious clue like this.
Aha! A blue feather! I knew it was you! Gustave Legrand!
Pinky, Gustave doesn't have blue feathers.
No, because he's been dyeing them!
No, Pinky. Remember how when you chased the suspect to the caboose, they suddenly disappeared? That's because they flew away. But the thief did leave a little something behind, didn't you, Rainbow Dash?
I don't even like cake! So Rainbow Dash did it! Case solved!
Case not solved, because when we went to the engine, I saw the conductor's hat. And inside the hat was this.
So it was you! That pink hair came from your rainbow-colored mane!
I don't have pink in my mane,
Quick! Ow! Cut it out!
Pinky, remember? You chased a pony to the engine, where you thought you saw the conductor shoveling coal. But that wasn't the conductor at all. It was... Fluttershy!
Oh my! You're going down, Fluttershy!
Pinky! But then another clue confounded my suspicions. You were guarding the cake when the curtains mysteriously closed. But that's no mystery. That's magic. But when the thief tried to make their great escape, they left a little addition to the portrait. Has any pony else noticed that Rarity is wearing her hair rather differently today?
What? Is it a crime to change one's style now and again? Why, I think it's a crime not to.
Really?
Fine, I'm guilty! I wear false eyelashes! Oh, and I took a bite of the cake.
So did I.
Oh, nuts! So did I! You just made it sound so delectable.
So tasty.
And boy, was it! I only meant to take a little ladylike bite.
But it was so good.
Yeah, I just dove right in!
But I'm really, really sorry.
Terribly sorry.
Sorry, Pinky.
That's okay.
At least this mystery is finally solved. But it isn't. We figured out who ate the marzipan mascarpone meringue madness, but we still don't know who devoured the other baker's goods.
You're right, Twilight. You know what we have to do?
Well, yes, I do. Do you?
Look for clues!
Well, Pinky, did you find the devourer of the desserts?
I most certainly did. It was none other than the baker! First of all, Gustav has mousse in his moustache! And Joe has eclair in his hair! And Yulia has sprinkles in her wrinkles!
What do you say, bakers?
Oh, I am so sorry, Mulia. But Pinky made your mousse sound très magnifique.
And Pinky's description of your eclairs really did make them sound scrumptious.
And the way she spoke of your Donutopia was too delectable to resist.
Well, every pony, we finally have the mystery solved.
Yes, but now we don't have any desserts to enter into the contest.
I think we can fix that. Come on! Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned that it's not good to jump to conclusions. You have to find out all the facts before saying some pony did something. If you don't, you could end up blaming some pony for something they never did. This could hurt their feelings. And it can make you look really foolish. So from now on, I will always make sure to get all the facts. How's that for a lesson, Princess Celestia?
Care for a bite?
I don't mind if I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mystery on the Friendship Express. So, initial thoughts as we, that's what I'm looking for. We start. Yeah, initial thoughts. Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little Richer. All right. My initial thoughts are, yes, I love this episode just as everyone else is saying. And to be truthful, I'm going to kind of start off on a little bit of a tangent here. Everyone I encounter with this episode actually says, I like this episode. I'm not even joking about this. Really, the only people that I ever really see hate it are just an extremely small minority. A vocal minority at that, but a minority nonetheless. So it almost begs the question of just how despised is this episode? But one other thing that I want to go off on is this is penultimate episode goodness. And I'll get into that later, but I'm just going to start off on that note, that this episode to me is penultimate episode goodness. So let's get started, folks. What do you have to say about the introduction? Not just the cake being delivered to the train, but maybe a little bit after that, as everyone's getting settled in more than anything. We'll get to that here shortly, Matt the Shadow Man. Yeah, definitely. I think this one's going to be more of an encompassing episode. We're only going to be able to break apart scenes, very few scenes. It's going to be mostly the entirety of it that we're going to get to really pick apart. But that's okay. Tim, all I can think of is Pinkie Pie plays Team Fortress 2. And you know what? I could just see her being either soldier, demo, or possibly... No, it'd be one of those two. And she'd put an entire hat stack on herself, and she'd just basically be bouncing all over the scene, blowing everything up, and be like, "Wee, surprise!" or something like that. It would just be, it'd be complete pandemonium. It would be Pinkie playing Team Fortress 2. What more can you expect? Or, yeah, I should say the Pyro 2, but yeah, everyone goes with the Pyro, Mr. Ben, for the reason of Pyro character being mysterious and insane. But, and to some degree I sympathize with that, but I stick by the notion of her actually playing it, so it's not an association in so much as her bouncing around. Or, you know, like as if we were to play it. That's what I'm getting at. All right, so let's get started with the analysis proper. What do you guys have to really say about... I'm going to skip ahead all the way to the part where they have the movies, the little snippets, how Pinkie is telling how the cake got sliced. But do you guys have anything to say before that? Much better. Yeah, like I said, we're going to be only handling a few scenes before we, if only because there's not a truckload. There isn't a great spot to stop, but it's where we stop is going to have a lot to talk about. Yeah, I could go ahead and I'll give you guys a few bits of trivia here. This is the first episode that we've seen yet another Griffin character, and the first time since Gilda that they've had a major role in it. So, yeah, that's something important. It's nice to see one again, and it's also, in my humble opinion, nice to see one who's just a regular Joe, no pun intended. So, yeah. And yeah, this is also the first time we've ever seen a mule that has also had a major role in the series. Yeah, we've had the mule that acted as the butt of a joke twice before, but again, just like with the Griffin, Gustav, it's nice to see him have a serious role. I regret nothing, Mr. Ben. Nothing at all. But okay, let's go with the, I think most of you have said all that can really be said there. So let's move on to Griffin Joe, the best superhero in the land of Griffintopia. Okay, seriously, let's move on to the movie clips. And I know some of you have already given your thoughts about that, so I'll just give mine right off the bat. Yes. This is the kind of stuff to me that makes Fim so special. And I know this isn't anything new for kids shows. I'll say kids shows as in not intended for kids 6 years old and up. It's not uncommon for them to make references that only adults would catch. It's not uncommon. But I like it when they do that. I really do. Especially when it's good, clean fun. Good, clean, stupid fun like this. The kids might not understand it fully, but they're going to understand, some of the humor to it. And just the fact that, again, this is the kind of stuff that they put in this show. I love it. As an observer, just me, I love it. I can't get enough of it. So I got to ask everyone, though, who had the best explanation scene? Was it Gustav's, Donut Joe's, or Mulia's? Wow, I really am. I am genuinely surprised that Gustav is not getting a lot of love, but that's fine. Yeah, to me, Gustav's is the best, and I think that's just because of a real personal preference. I love melodramas, I really do, because I love how, for lack of better terms, naked they are when it comes to how hammy they are. We've got a villain with a long mustache in a cape, which serves as a purpose, mind you, who is obviously evil. We have the whole silent era bit thrown in with it, and other classic cliche throwbacks that I just I love it. I need say no more. Blue Jay. Rain Shadow, I agree with you. To me, that's half the fun, and I'll get to that in a little bit here. But yeah, I'll get back to that later. you say when the doctor is the doctor exists, Matt the Shadow Man. I digress, though. That's a good point, Mr. Venn. Exactly. So what do you guys then have to say about... Really, in terms of my notes here, that's just about all I have in terms of specific scenes. So why don't I ask, though... Okay, Matt the Shadow Man, fair enough. What do you guys have to say about the revelation when the mystery is solved, in the sense of... No, I take that back. I want to note something. I noted that I like how they keep us out of the loop a little bit when Twilight is gathering evidence. I'll get back onto this a little bit further when we get to the episode overall summary, but what do you guys have to say about these scenes? The scene with them gathering evidence and all. I wouldn't say that, Thunderbolt. I do... Well, some of them I could see, but most of them, even some of the worst ones, would have some legitimate... I think they would end about the same, so... I'll say yes or no in that respect. Or at the time, an eyelash. However, yeah, Rarity was probably the best guess. And then when it was revealed... This thing eventually just starts squishing your ears. Tends to hurt. You guys have got a good conversation going, and I'm not going to ruin it. Hold that thought, Thunderbolt. I'll get there shortly. You guys are kind of jumping ahead to the episode summary bit. So what do you guys have to say about the reveal when the suspects have been revealed? Bear in mind, though, Thunderbolt, something I want to say now that I'm rereading it. I don't think this episode was designed to be a film homage. It was just designed to use those references to make the explanation all the more silly. It was designed just as, a gag, for fun, for why not? And I'll get there shortly. Mind control cake. Yeah, Mr. Ben. Rarity had the best revelation. I wear false eyelashes. Oh, and I took a bite of the cake. Oh, Rarity. What are we going to do with you? That I would agree with Thunderbolt. Usually it's just one character. So the fact that they have multiple characters at fault here, not just on the but the other ingredients or desserts, treats, whatever you want to call them, as well. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. You don't see that often. It should happen more. Rah, 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 rah. Mr. Ben. There is rain shadow. I'll show you later. Technically, it's not lying if they don't ask about it. But it is a lie by omission. It's Epic Pie Time, Rain Shadow, the one you're thinking of. All right, why don't I bring it up? The very end scene with Princess Celestia. You guys know what to do. I'll parrot what you guys are saying. Yes. What a wonderful callback. And this is another one of those things that makes this show so special to me. That they are willing to, an insignificant callback, or at least an insignificant in regards to the plot, but they keep it. This show's stick to continuity is pretty darn cool and special too. They do a really good job of it. I think it helps that the people behind it, the producers anyway, I heard, I think it was either Mr. Larson or Ms. Rogers say, Mr. Thiessen has an iron tight memory of this show, that he can pretty much pick apart any piece of continuity and go, yes, 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 and keep it in order. So, yeah, let that be a testimony to him. Cake is very OP. Yes, we can, Matt the Shadow Man. Cake OP, please nerf Plex. It's possible, Rain Shadow. What I like about this bit, though, and something I want to say, not only is it just a great callback, it's nice to actually see it, as in person, if you will. It's one thing to write the story about it, and that's great. You know, that's just as continuous. Speaking of continuity, as the article in Ponyville Confidential. But to me, I've always said, show don't tell. So here we are actually showing it. And I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine if in sometime in season 5 they have Celestia at a cake bar or something and she's just staring at it, or she's actually eating it. Whatever. Show me. Don't tell me. The party cannon fired bunker busting cakes. To me, though, one other thing I want to add. I like how far her obsession goes, Celestia's. She not only likes cake so much, but she gets lost to reality to it. So, as in oblivious to reality, I should say. It's funny to me, again, just to show how far her love of cake is. Matt, that would be funny. That really would. Rain shot. You know what the worst part about that is? I believe it. Or at least I would believe it if I had no knowledge of EQG Rainbow Rocks. So can we enter? Yeah. Mr. Ben and Matt. All right. Let's get to the episode summary. So overall, are there bits and pieces you have to say about this episode? If that makes any sense. But yeah, overall, let's get to the episode summary. What do you guys have to say about this one? him. And that's something I want to touch upon, Rain Shadow. This episode to me is what I like to call penultimate episode goodness. And I already touched upon this. Penultimate episode goodness is, as its name implies, it's the penultimate episode before the big finale. Oftentimes in virtually every show for that matter, the penultimate episode, for those who don't know, the word penultimate means the last one before the actual last one. So in this case, Mystery on the Friendship Express is the penultimate episode of Season 2. Depending on how you want to define it, but work with me here for a minute. Penultimate episode goodness. The penultimate episode oftentimes is used to do one of two things. Oftentimes one of two things, but sometimes the third one. The first one is it's designed to set up the last episode. As in, it doesn't really do much. It might be a reflection episode. It might be, here we are at the bad guy's castle. It might be something like that. Something where we have our heroes just about ready to fight the bad guy or resolve for the ultimate episode. The second one is, it's like this. It's not designed to be very serious. It's not designed to be heavy on the action. It's oftentimes designed to be just like this episode. Silly, fun, not very intensive. It's just designed to let us, the audience, to both literally and metaphorically take a breather before the ultimate episode, or episodes in this case. And I would like to think that that's exactly what, not only were they going for with this episode, but the fact that, how do I want to put this? It's not only what they were going with, but I can't think of my other line here. The point is that I think that's exactly what they were planning with this episode. This is why we have everything we have. The story, the mystery, the silliness, the funniness. That's why that's all here. It's a penultimate episode. Hold on, Thunderbolt. I was just going to get there. When it comes to, when it comes to mystery shows for kids, I honestly think that they can get away with a lot sillier stuff. Case in point, again, let's look at this episode. We have a cake that got bitten. Somebody, please, call the SWAT team and the FBI, because we've got the crime of the century right here. Okay, so we don't, but that's the fun, is we can treat this whole thing as just that, as our own little mystery. I like that. It's one of those things that it gets fun with. That's one of those things that kids shows can get away with, is silly stuff like this. The purpose, what you're going at with Thunderbolt, is it's partially that, but it's partially a storytelling standpoint. Not just your homage, but it's partially a storytelling standpoint. Not only just to stretch time out, but it's bringing us, the audience, into the fray. They intentionally keep us in the shadows by not revealing the evidence. They intentionally keep us in the shadows to keep the mystery, keep the suspense, and keep the story. Especially the second one, keeping the mystery. By doing that, it makes us go, we have extra time. We can go, who was it? Or even if it's just random guessing. it allows us to do that, which is what you want to do in your story. What do you mean Scooby-Doo syndrome, Matt the Shadow Man? Anyway, going back to Thunderbolt's point, by doing that, it keeps the suspense. So that way when it's revealed, we go, oh, that's what they meant. One thing that I will point out that Rain Shadow pointed out, he was talking about the portrait, the eyelash, and going back and looking at the little details. This is one of those things that I think this episode did really well, was the little things, the little details. Case in point, I'm going to use that without a loss of generality on this. A good mystery novel, or a good mystery show, I should say, especially with pictures and visuals, a good one is to watch it when you go, oh, that's where they were meaning, and then you go back and rewatch it. So yes, this is one of those cool things about this episode, is looking for those little details. And that's exactly what it was going for, Thunderbolt. When you first watched this one, you probably went, you probably didn't catch a lot of those little things. I didn't. I don't think a lot of us did. Heck, if you did, you're pretty darn observant, and maybe you should consider a career in forensics. And I mean that literally, quite sincerely, too. But for those of us who aren't that observant, when you're reading a mystery novel, as Rain Shadow just said, what's the fun and enjoyment of the anything if you already know who did it throughout it? To some extent, there is a case like that, but I'm not going there. So anyway, I babbled long enough on the subject. But one thing I want to reiterate is, again, the little details. That's the fun of this episode, as Rain Shadow pointed out. It's fun looking at this stuff. It's fun to see, oh, gee, that's what they did. And to look for those little things. A little bit cold here, so work with me. I think you pointed and said it best, Rain Shadow. Pinky is our connection, the audience's connection to the whole episode. That is, we see the story through her, and we are basically able to be her, in a sense, in a weird way. But yeah, I think you said that, and you said it, if you did, you said it best. Yep, you did. Overall, I love this episode. I really do. If I haven't made it clear with the stuff I've been saying, I think this episode is not only overlooked, but it's, well, at the very least, it's overlooked, but if anything, it's too harshly criticized for one reason or another. And before you ask, no, I haven't seen too many because, quite frankly, I don't care. Not one bit. But what I will say is that this could easily be top 10 material for me. I will classify this one easily as a rainy day episode. But first of all, I want to say, just because it's a rainy day episode doesn't mean it's bad. Second, here's a good case and point of a great rainy day episode. Third, one last thing that I want to say about this is another one of those cases of I'm not looking for something like, well, the next episode in the series here of extreme action or an intense plot or a very thoughtful plot. Sometimes I just want a good story. Right on the ball there, Matt the Shadow Man. You know, I'll address this one. You guys are talking about the difference between analyzing and criticism. Yeah, technically this is criticism that we do. In fact, I wouldn't even call it technically. It is criticism. Criticism is, by definition, throwing your opinion on a matter. We've been talking about other analysts on this episode, but I'm not going there for what it's worth. At least not here on air, and I don't even care to off air. But point is, criticism is by itself throwing our opinion on the matter. As I was saying, criticism that we do is what is just that. Positive criticism is where you say good things about it, such as, this is a great episode. I like the mystery theme to it, etc., etc. Negative criticism is the exact opposite. This episode stinks. I don't like the characters. I don't like the mystery. And, however you wish to branch off from there. Positive criticism and negative criticism is in and of itself criticism. It's not necessarily the fact that we don't criticize on here. We do. It's just a matter of what and how we criticize. Now, before we go on, hold your thoughts on that. Because I'm saving this for later. So hold off on all of this analyzing of how we analyze, because a little bit further down the road after season 2, I'll give it away right now. There is an episode about like a little bit after season 2. You know how we usually have our self-reflections and analysis of topics that maybe we don't get to during the episodes, but we save it for post episodes. Yeah, I'm saving an episode that asks this question. How do you analyze? But that's not until January, folks, so hold off on it. But we'll get there when we get there. All I'll say is I can promise you that. Anal eye zing. Anyway, let's wrap this up, though. I should say, does anyone have anything left to say on Mystery on the Friendship Express, the episode? Mr. Ben. Good water. All right, then I'm going to wrap this up. Wrap the episode up. Next week, I wanted to get an interview in before we got to the season finale, and I do. We're interviewing someone named Lochalan O'Neill. She's a cosplayer. I wanted to interview a cosplayer once. I wanted to get it to a cosplayer, and that's exactly who we're interviewing. After that, Well, no, I'll save that for later. Anyway, so next week, interview. Till then, on behalf of myself, Mr. Ben, and Twilight is Magic, I'd like to thank everyone for stopping on by. Until then, farewell.